Welcome to the Arts and Medicine Studio. I'd like to introduce to you a very special person today, Francy. Hello, Francy.
Hi.
I met Francy when she was 11-year-old and came to the clinic and was able to participate in our painting and sculpture and water play. And we together were able to create special moments. Today, Francie, you're turning 18.
Happy
Happy
birthday.
birthday,
Thank
Francie. Hi,
you.
Raya. Hi, Ishaan.
Hi.
Hi.
Happy birthday, Francie.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh, you're an adult now. Ishaan, I'm so glad we're here today to do art with Francie. And our project is really unique today. I got a little bit of model magic. Raya, do you have some model magic?
Yeah, let me get mine out. I do.
Mine is red. What color is yours?
I have some white. I have red and blue too.
I have red, white, and brown.
I have blue, white, and red.
Oh,
Wow.
So, is it true? Are we really going to make fake blood?
We are. And we're going to do it in a way that it's fun and we can be creative too. So at the studio, we do something called water play that Nitza mentioned. And we like to throw together all kinds of different colors, all kinds of paint, ink, clay, anything we can find, sparkles, glitter, and we throw it all together in a way to make a beautiful, colorful, shiny, or not shiny liquid that is whatever color you want it to be. And kids get their hands into it and they play with it and they make bubbles in it, and it's a lot of fun.
And we get to clean it too.
We do. So today, I think we can do some water play, but we can also learn about blood at the same time.
Francie, what do you know about blood?
Well, I know that there are many cells in our blood. We have red blood cells, white blood cells, and platelets.
That's right. Could you show me what the red blood cell looks like? That's right. That's what a red blood cell looks like.
you know what they do?
Red blood cells transport oxygen to parts of our body.
And Raya, could you show me what other type of cells are there?
Well, I have some white cells, and this is the nucleus of the white cell. Almost looks like an eye. I have red blood cells, and you can see the white ones are a little bit bigger than the red ones. And then I have these teeny ones. They're called, you can hardly see them, they're called platelets. So those are the three that I have.
Francie, what do white blood cells do?
White blood cells fight infections.
So they protect us.
Yes.
And what about the platelets?
Platelets stop us from bleeding.
And Raya, how do they do that?
They run to where you, if you cut yourself, all the platelets are lots of little platelets, and they run right to that spot, and they are very strong, and they stop you from bleeding. They make us like a scab. You've seen scabs when you cut your knee or you fall down and you start to bleed, and the platelets go right there, and they cover that area up, and the blood can't come out anymore.
So all the platelets come together and they block it off. They all hold
Exactly.
hands together and they stop all the blood from coming out.
Exactly.
That's so cool. So what I did is that I took some model magic, and all of you have model magic in your art kits, and I made some fake cells. And how I did that is first I started with the red blood cells. And I just took some red model magic and I rolled it up into a small little ball. And then I made two little dents on either side of the ball. And I made a whole lot of those because we have a lot of red blood cells. The next cell I made was the white blood cells. And for that, I just used the white model magic. I rolled it up like a ball and I got my white blood cell. Super easy. And for the platelets are the easiest because they're so tiny and they don't really have a shape. They could be so many different shapes. So I just took my brown model magic and I pulled off little bits, teeny tiny little bits of model magic from that big piece, and I formed my platelets. So Nitza, did you make the cells too?
I did. White cells, they fight infection.
Yes.
Good memory.
Platelets, they're like an inside Band-Aid. So when we get cut, they just get stuck into that area and stop us from bleeding.
I love that description, an inside Band-Aid. That's perfect.
And I remember that the red blood cells, they swim around. And Raya, what do they do?
They bring oxygen all over your body, so you have lots of energy.
So I made also red blood cells, which swim around like a fish and bring a lot of oxygen to the blood. However, I think I made them about the same size. I think, Raya, you said that the red blood cells are smaller.
Oh,
I know we don't have to do it exactly the same. So they're smaller than
They
the white
are.
blood cells. And then here's the platelets. I made it pink. I mixed the white and the red.
oh.
Very cool.
How about we create our own
Yeah.
fake blood? So we have the red cells, the white cells, and the platelets. What do we do now?
So now you can grab some water. I have water. You can even use syrup. Raya, do you have syrup?
And we both do.
You both have syrup. That's so cool.
Yeah. I'm going to pour my syrup into you, Francie.
I'll do the same.
Oh, look. Oh.
And if you don't have syrup at home, you can just use water like me.
We're using syrup to pretend it's plasma. Remind me, what does plasma do?
The plasma is the sea that all the different cells swim around in, and that they flow to different parts of our body. So Francie, what cell do you think we should add to our plasma first?
I think we should add the red blood cells.
Yeah, they're really important.
They are.
Whee!
So let's drop all of our red blood cells in.
I made a lot. Hey,
I made a lot of red blood cells. That's the most number of cells I had, is the red blood cells. So I'm going to drop all of them in. Wow, model magic floats. That's so cool.
that,
Who knew?
and sometimes when you put it in the syrup, it can sort of get, stuck down there. You poke it down. What's next? Can I put in white cells?
You can. So let's drop our white cells in.
One more over here.
Forget to mix it up.
This is fun. I can mix all day.
So now we drop our white blood cells in.
This is better than slime.
It is better than slime.
And ours is really slimy with the Karo syrup.
So I have a lot fewer white blood cells than the red blood cells because there aren't as many white cells as there are red.
Great.
So what's left? What
Oh,
are we missing? We're missing the platelets.
there we go.
I'm gonna mix these up first. Look at all those colors.
Oh, yours did turn it red. That's cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So cool. And now I have all these little platelets that I'm going to drop in like this.
Wow, that's a lot.
There's a lot of them and they're really tiny. Now that all my platelets are in, I'm gonna give it a mix.
Makes a cool sound.
It makes a cool sound. Look, we made fake blood. And it's actually turning red because of the red model magic.
That is so cool.
Raya, could you show me yours?
Yeah, mine's cool because you can actually see the cells in it and remember what you learned. What about you, Francie? Can you see yours?
Yeah, I
Oh,
like
wow.
mixing. I just want to mix all day.
Francy's cells are the biggest. You're really big cells, Francy.
Francie, when I met you, you came to clinic because some of your red blood cells weren't working right. What was that all about? Can you share that with us?
Yes, that condition is called sickle cell. That's when your red blood cell is shaped like a crescent moon instead of a full donut like it usually looks.
Oh,
Ishaan, can you show us how they look like?
Absolutely. So normally, red blood cells look like this. Almost like a donut, but where the hole doesn't punch all the way through. So there's like a dent on both sides and it looks like this. And what this does, this shape, it allows the cells to flow freely and smoothly through all of your blood vessels. And it allows the cell to bend and twist and do all these different motions so it can move smoothly through your blood vessels. So in sickle cell, the cell, instead of looking like this, looks like this. So when it looks like this, it tends to get stuck in a whole lot of different places. And when it gets stuck, it causes blockages. And that's what causes most of the problems with sickle cell. So Raya, you were Francy's nurse. How do they treat sickle cell?
well, there's a lot of supportive care you can give for sickle cell to keep the blood running smoothly. There's only one known cure, and that's called a bone marrow transplant. And it's not everybody has a brother or a sister who matches their type, but Francie was lucky enough to have an older sister who could be her bone marrow donor. So Francie had a bone marrow transplant with the new cells that were given by Francie's sister. So Francie is cured of sickle cell disease.
Happy birthday, Francy.
Thank you so much.
This is unbelievable. I think when I'm going to make my fake blood, I'm actually going to use some ketchup and maybe I'll also put in a little bit of watercolor. So the model magic, the watercolors, all are in your art box. If you don't have one, just let me know at nitza@gmail.com. And I wanted to thank Raya and Ishaan so much for joining us today and wish you, Francie, amazing birthday party. We just so proud of you and thank you so much for helping us create fake blood today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Bye.
Bye.